Hello, I'm Anton, and today we are going to focus on one of the initial steps of seismic processing, first break picking. We will cover a small piece of theory behind the task, discuss a neural network-based solution, and assess its quality on the real-world data. Raw data is collected from thousands of receivers that covers hundreds of square kilometers. Each of them records Earth fluctuations caused by vibration sources located on the surface. And the main goal of first break picking task is to find a moment when the generated seismic waves reach a particular receiver. The picture shows an example of several waves stuck together into a seismic gather. Here, red dots indicate the times of first breaks. These times are later used for studying near-surface velocities and subsequently performing the static corrections. They directly affect the resulting seismic image. Well-performed procedure can reveal, extend, and amplify the horizons. On the other hand, inaccurate first break picking dramatically decreases coherence of traces after correction. Existing semi-automatic picking tools tend to make mistakes on traces with a lot of noise before the first break, so the stage remains labor and time intensive, since the experts need to adjust the parameters for different parts of survey and manually examine the results. It takes days or even weeks to process large surveys. And the main motivation for using machine learning here is to automate first break picking and reduce human efforts. In terms of machine learning, it's intuitive to treat this task as a regression. When given seismic trace, the model predicts single value, time. So let's stop the theory here and dive into the code. During the tutorials, I'm going to use the Jupyter Notebook. It's very convenient software that allows iteratively running the code and visualizing the results in place. Here, we define all necessary inputs. One can find widely used libraries like NumPy and Matplotlib. Also, we use our own libraries, SeismicPro and BatchFlow. SeismicPro is aimed at solving seismic processing tasks, while BatchFlow provides a convenient interface for combining processing actions into a suitable format, pipeline, and also combining and training neural networks. All these libraries are written in Python and open source, so you can reproduce this code by yourself. Before the neural network will be ready to solve our problem, we must feed it with a lot of data. This data should include model inputs, in our case we use traces, and labels, times of first break. Such data is usually called dataset. In this cell, we exactly define an object responsible for the dataset loading. The survey class represents a single SIGY file. This class does not store trace data, but only a requested subset of trace headers and general meta. In our case, the created survey groups traces into common short gathers. Also, here we load times of first breaks. All deep learning models are usually trained using massive amount of data, and the resulting quality strongly depends on how much data the model has seen. More data, better results. However, the entire dataset cannot be stored in the memory at once. That's why the training data is usually split into small pieces called batches. In the next cell, we define a dataset that indexes all gathers and provides a convenient interface to generate batches for model training. Also, we split the data into train and test sets, because one of the basic rules of data science: never check the model's quality on the same data you trained it on. Otherwise, its quality will be certainly overestimated because of the effect called overfitting. Due to the specifics of the training process, it's better to generate batches not from gathers, but from traces, chosen from different parts of the field. In this case, every batch will contain heterogeneous traces, which result in much faster and stable training. To do so, we have to reindex our dataset by individual traces. Given a batch of traces, the model provides its predictions. Using the loss function, the model understands how close the prediction was to the true label and changes inner parameters to reduce the loss value. Repeating this process many times allows the model to learn important patterns in the data. In this section, we are going to discuss model's construction and the training procedure. In the first cell, we describe the model we use and the training parameters such as optimizer and loss function. For the regression problem, we will use ResNet-based architecture with an attention mechanism. As a loss function, we use mean absolute error that measures an absolute distance between model prediction and true label. To update its inner parameters, we use Adam optimizer. Here, you can see the training pipeline. This pipeline combines all the methods from processing procedures to model training. Now let's train the model and assess the results. The cell below shows how loss value decreases during the training and eventually reaches a plateau, meaning that the training procedures has converged. The next step is to measure model's quality on the test set. To do so, we construct a pipeline that is almost identical to the training one. Here, we use a predict model action to get predictions, and also we accumulate metrics to assess how well the model was trained. As a result, the average distance between the model's predictions and real first breaks is close to 6 samples. Unfortunately, it is not good at all. Nevertheless, it is always interesting to visualize the results. To do so, we reindex dataset by field record in order to make predictions for gathers, not for single choices. Also, we construct a pipeline with a plot function in the end. Examples are shown below, and we can notice many mispredictions that confirm that the model reacts on wrong parts of signal and cannot be used as a solution. So, we need to reformulate the task.